Hi. Oh my gosh, I feel so much better than I did yesterday. I literally had a terrible time. I literally had a terrible time functioning yesterday. So I'm so glad today is a better day. But I did want to go over something with you. There is breaking news on the Mounjaro Zepbound shortage, the Tirzepatide shortage. Okay, so my brain isn't working as well as normal right now, but it's far better than it was yesterday. Yesterday was hard to get through the day. Okay, so I told you guys how on July 17th I had moved up to 5 milligrams. I told you how it took me literally hours and hours on end, and I'm not kidding. My appointment was over around noon. I didn't end up getting the prescription in my hand until just after 5 o'clock p.m. So it took hours. I had to call 11 different pharmacies because the pharmacy that is less than a mile from my house, which is where I normally get my prescriptions because it's just so close, didn't have it. And what they told me was it is very hit and miss when they order it. It does tell them that they can get it within 24 hours, certain dose, at least with the five, that they can get it within 24 hours. And that is not always the case. They'll order it and sometimes it'll come in and sometimes it won't. So it's very hit and miss. But I had to search high and low. Finally found it, went across the universe to go get it. And then my prescription was due for refill yesterday. So I refilled it because I don't know whether or not I'm going to move to 7.5 or if I'm going to stay on 5. My doctor had told me, I have an appointment next week on Wednesday to go over whether or not I'm going to go up or stay the same. She had told me that there's a few things she needs to look at, like my blood work and stuff, and that we would go from there. So I picked up my 5 milligrams yesterday. It was so easy. It was due for pickup yesterday, and on Wednesday night, I'd gotten a message from my pharmacy that had told me. So I had gotten a message from my pharmacy that told me that my prescription was due for refill if I wanted to refill it. I said yes. This was around 5 p.m. maybe on Thursday night. And on Wednesday night. Sorry, on Wednesday night. And on Thursday, I woke up. I went to the OB. I had that appointment. I dealt with all that stuff. And I didn't notice that I had a text from the pharmacy. My prescription for 5 milligrams was ready. So I got home from picking it. No, I went to go pick it. So I went to go pick it up because I don't know how long they're going to hold it. I don't know, what's going on. I know that Eli Lilly is saying that there's, it's available now. But I also know what my real world experience has been. So I went to go pick it up. And when I went in, the pharmacist tech who was helping me remembered me from the last time. And she told me, great news. Since the last time we spoke, we have not had that hit or miss issue. At least she was telling me about the 5 and the 7.5 because I did talk to her about possibly going up to 7.5 next week. She said at the very least with the 2.5, the 5, and the 7.5, they have not had any issues. Once they put in the order, it's there the next day, period. So I thought that was great news for me. I don't know how great news that is for those whose insurance doesn't cover name brand. My medical insurance covers my Mounjaro because of my type 2 diabetes diagnosis. However, it does not cover any weight loss medication. Any of them, none of them. At least none of the injectables. I have not tried to get like phenerine or phendimetrazine since I've been on this insurance. Not that I want to. I've been on it before and I'm not doing that again. since yesterday on the Eli Lilly call, the stockholders call, where they discussed that they are going to be bringing the single dose vials into the US. For Zepbound only, they did not address Mounjaro. For Zepbound only, at the 2.5 and the 5 milligram doses, that is going to free up a lot of pins. A lot of pins, which is what Eli Lilly is saying, that the shortage is from the pins, not the medication. So that is supposed to be happening within the coming weeks. You could go onto the Lilly website and put in your information, because it does have an option on there where you could put in your information for updates on the vials. It's supposed to be happening very, very shortly. And when that happens, I do really, truly believe that a lot of the issues that we're having are going to be taken care of that way. I have heard other people say, well, other countries are still having a hard time getting it, and, this, that, and the other. But the FDA doesn't look at other countries. They strictly look at the United States. If the shortages in the United States have recovered, and the status on the FDA website, because right now the FDA website still shows active shortage, even though every single dose shows available for Mounjaro and Zepbound. It still says active shortage. Once that status changes from active shortage to resolved, then the FDA considers Tirzepatide no longer in a shortage, and 503B compounding regulations will no longer exist, which means they will no longer be allowed to make it in bulk, and you will need to have a medical necessity to have a compound made. So again, I just want to encourage those of you who are on compound, not because of the shortage and because you can't find your Zepbound or because you can't find your Mounjaro, but because it is a financial necessity for you. I want to encourage you to begin to speak to your doctors. I know that there's a lot of people out there saying, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. They're not going to stop making the compounds. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do it. But nobody knows. There's no way for me to tell you, I 100% without doubt, I know this for a fact, that they will or will not. I have no idea. I'm not telling you that I am the be all end all. I know, and you should only listen to me because there's too much money involved. And the problem is there is too much money involved. There's way too much money involved for Eli Lilly and their legal patent on Tirzepatide that they will fight tooth and nail for, to ensure that compounding pharmacies are going about that in the way that they're legally allowed to. So I highly encourage you to begin to speak to your healthcare provider and start looking at other options. Right now, semaglutide is still an option. It has not been removed. There's not even talks of it being shown as available right now. So I highly encourage you to begin to speak to them in a raw and honest manner, and let them know what your concerns are. Let them know, hey, the reality is that nobody knows what's going to happen, And yes, there might be a grace period. There might be time where I've not read it on the FDA website where it talks about compounding, but I read a lot of stuff in there. So maybe I missed it, but I've heard that once it gets off of the shortage list, that compounding 503B compounding agencies will have to continue to fill scripts. And then once that is done, they will no longer be allowed to create it without medical necessity for a different option than the name brand patent. I don't know how to say that now, but without a medical necessity to not take the name brand and instead have it compounded. And again, Delilah's speculation here, if it is being compounded in smaller doses for your medical need and not, in bulk all the live long day as they're doing it now. Right now they're sitting there all day long just stirring their Tirzepatide into whatever else they're putting it with, loading it into these vials just to send out to anybody and everybody who walks in and says, hey, I want this. Once that is no longer an option, and they do have to start going on a case-by-case basis and a medical necessity case, what does that mean for you? Again, as of right now, that does not affect me. I am looking at other options because my medical insurance has changed in the past 6 years that I've been with my company. Well, not my company, but with this company. I've been employed by this company. Our medical insurance has changed 3 times, and I don't know, what the future of my insurance is going to be for next year. I'm not going to worry about, 2026. I'm going to worry about 2025. And once we get that taken care of, once November comes around and open enrollment is over and all of that, then I'll know. And oh my God, you guys look. It looks so ugly. It's bothering me so much. Every time I turn my head, I see it. That is from the collapsed vein in my arm. The one in my hand is not as bad at all, but it was like you could still feel I don't know if you could see it, but you see there's still a bump. It was way bigger, but there's still a bump in here and it's still bruising, but I'm much darker here than I am here. It looks so ugly. I feel like people look at me and they're thinking, girl, is something going on? Are you safe at home? And I'm like, I promise I'm fine. It's just from, a collapsed vein. And then they're probably thinking, girl, what kind of drugs are you doing? But I don't do that. So, but anyways, I just wanted to simply encourage you to really, truly stop listening to me and other people and start, actively advocating for yourself, because we have no idea what's going to happen. There are pharmacies who are already sending out letters to their patients saying, we are no longer going to be supplying this medication. We are no longer going to be creating it, in light of the recent updates. And there are other pharmacies that are saying, don't worry about it, we got you. And then there are other pharmacies that are saying, as of right now, we are legally required to follow the FDA guidelines. And as of right now, there is still an active shortage. They are not addressing what happens when that shortage is no longer. And I really feel like those vials being introduced to the U.S. Market is going to clear up a lot of this. And again, I am so sorry to those of you who this does affect. And I really, 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 really hope and pray for you that another option is available to you, and that other option works even better than Tirzepatide did or would have for you. I really, truly my heart goes out to you. I know how scary it is to not have any answers and to sort of just be all over the place. But now that this pin itself is no longer looking at a shortage, the medication is going to be a lot easier for those of us with insurance or who self-pay to be able to get their hands on it. So this is, again, my story of what I told you from my pharmacy is simply anecdotal. It is simply my story, and it is not meant to be the case for everyone. That is just what I experienced, and I'm just going by what I've experienced, and I just wanted to share what happened for me. And the difference in just a matter of weeks. It's only been a few weeks. It's been 4 weeks or 4 injections, because I took my last shot on Wednesday and on Thursday I got my next box. So just, yeah. Guys, we're so close to my 1,000 subscriber goal. We are 998 this morning. And I just want to encourage you that if you are here and you haven't subscribed yet and you enjoy yourself here, please do so. It would mean the world to me. And I really, really, really am grateful. So grateful to each and every one of you. And I have some thoughts going through my head right now. And again, yesterday I was really suffering really bad from really bad brain fog. You know, so brain fog is one of the very common symptoms of anemia, and especially to the severity that I have. And it was bad yesterday. It was so bad yesterday. And today it's much better, but it's still a little, I'm still a little funky in my brain. So I'm sorry if I don't make a whole lot of sense, but I'm trying really hard. But again, I just want to give you guys digital hugs, and I love to hear all about how your week is going, and just let me know all of the great things that are happening to you, and the you know things that you're proud of that you've done for yourself, the things that you've been able to show yourself some love and some compassion for this week, and what your ups and downs are, like everything. I'm here to not just hear about your good stuff. I'm here to also support you through your concerning things. And I really hope that you understand just how much I really do care, and I really am excited to hear these things from you guys so that I can support you. I could pray for you, and I could keep your situation. I have a prayer journal, and you guys already know I have a million journals. I have little books everywhere, every darn where. And I have a prayer journal, and I do keep note of your situations, and I do actively pray for you, and you know I just I want to support you in a way that you support me, and it just means the world to me, and I'm truly honored to be able to do that. So I adore you guys, and I will see you guys soon. And we're almost there, 1,000. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Excited, and yeah. So I will see you guys soon. Okay. Bye.